And when we talk about the immorality of a for-profit health insurance system, this is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. No other developed country on earth has a system as greedy and nonsensical as the healthcare system in the United States. No other. So the question is, how do we want to imagine our healthcare system to be? And the healthcare system that we want is Medicare for all, no cracks in the system. Every single human being in the United States of America deserves to be able to go to the doctor, deserves to afford their insulin, should never be afraid about what that test will come back, will have access to preventative care. That at its base is such a core part of human dignity, decency in the 21st century. That is what this campaign is about. No matter what, time advances. We decide if society advances with it. We decide. People always talk about how policies like Medicare for All or a Green New Deal or the decarceration of our unjust system or breaking up ICE and CBP, they call these things they call it unrealistic. They call it unrealistic. You know what I think is so funny? I go back to DC, and when we discuss these issues behind closed doors, those folks who argue against those same policies, behind closed doors, they never tell me it's unrealistic. They don't use that same argument in the Capitol. The argument that they use is, we will lose. We will lose if we do this. And aha, now I've gotten to the bottom of this issue. It's not that we can't, it's that we're scared. It's not that we can't, it's that we're scared. I spent so many years of my life scared. I spent years of my life scared that I wasn't going to be able to make rent at the end of the month, scared that I might get sick and not afford a doctor, scared that the lights might be turned off on my mom's house when I get home, scared right now to this day with my grandmother in Puerto Rico who is oxygen dependent and this horrifying administration isn't participating in being part of the solution. I'm sick of being scared. I want to solve these problems once and for all. We should not be scared of what will happen if we try. We should be scared of what will happen if we don't. The consequences could not be more grave. Right now, millennials, Gen Z, younger people, we have lower life expectancies, worse health outcomes, lower income projections than the generations before us. Mathematically, statistically, that is the definition of a nation in decline. It is up to us to turn it around. And the solutions the trends that got us here will not get us out. More war is not gonna get us out. More fossil fuels is not gonna get us out. More Wall Street speculation is not gonna get us out. More big pharma is not gonna get us out. More lowest common denominator politics will not get us out. We need to build a transcendent, intersectional movement that is rooted in justice, committed to economic prosperity for working people. I don't want us to measure our economy by the NASDAQ and the Dow anymore. I want us to measure it. To measure it, and I want us to know how much money is going in your pocket. Have your wages gone up meaningfully? Especially, people, oh my God. People want to act like wages have been going up and not tacking them to inflation, not tacking them to the cost of living, acting like it's good enough to get a 3% raise when your rent is going up $500. I mean, when your medication is going up astronomically high, it's not just about inflation. It's about just the overall, the pressure, the cost of life. No person in this country should be too poor to live. What is so controversial about that? Because we have to fight for someone we don't know. And for far too long, our politics, and I'm not just talking about Washington, D.C., I'm talking about how we cast our vote. For far too long, it's been about what is in it for me? What do they got for me? And we need to start asking, what are they doing for my neighbor? My neighbor. We need to know that all of these systems are connected. It's not just about big, bold policy proposals. It's that they are structurally connected. We need to have Medicare for all, but the way that Medicare for all can work is if we forgive student debt so doctors are not crushed under student debt. We need to have a living wage and dignified jobs, because a living wage and a commitment to millions of dignified jobs is exactly how we are going to decarbonize our economy and rebuild American infrastructure with a Green New Deal. And really, what we are seeing when generations have worse outcomes, are predicted to have worse outcomes than the ones before, when billionaires coexist with some of the highest rates of homelessness since the Great Depression, when people are starting to have illnesses of despair and addiction, what it says is that the logic of our society is fraying. And it means that we have to write a new story for ourselves. While on one hand, they're telling us that we can't bring down insulin prices and we can't insure every person in this country. On the other hand, they're bringing a space force and authorizing another branch of our military. So there's a whole lot of math that's not adding up on their end in any way, shape, or form. Because I've said it over and over again, they only ask, how do we pay for it? When it comes to educating our children and making sure that our health care is covered and making sure that the people actually enjoy our public systems and saving our planet. They never ask, how are we going to pay for the ravages of the AUMF? They never ask, how are we going to pay to subsidize fossil fuel pipelines? It's amazing how it seems to be so impossible to build a train underground, but a pipeline underground can happen in just a matter of months.